everyone. I'm Ken Lam, Music Director of the Illinois Symphony. Joining me is Brian Goodwin, our principal horn player. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Weather's
Now,
warming up.
yeah, now, whereabouts are you?
I live on the south side of Chicago, actually the South Loop. So, right in downtown, I can see some downtown skyscrapers out the window here.
That's great. And obviously, for all of us, we haven't had a concert for a few months now. What have you been up to?
Yeah. What have I been up to? I still have been teaching some lessons. I have, there are a couple of schools that I go to in the suburbs, and I used to go in person. Schools were all changed to remote learning in, was that April or March? I can't remember. It's so long ago now. So I started actually doing remote lessons with my middle school students, and I have one high school student as well. So I've been doing some playing and a little bit of teaching at home, but otherwise, all of the performances everywhere have been put on indefinite hold, unfortunately.
Yeah. So have
or fortunately for a public health standpoint, yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you picked up some new skills? Like a lot of us spending a lot of time at home and.
Yeah, new skills. I have too many hobbies and not enough time. I spend a lot of time doing kind of computer stuff. I work with Linux a lot. I use that as my main operating system at home. So I'm always kind of tinkering with something with that. And I also work on my car and a couple of other cars, kind of for fun, but also to save money. So I've done some work on cars, and otherwise a lot of time sitting at home.
Wow. So I didn't know you were into like cars and things.
Yeah.
That's really great. Now, you joined the ISO, I think 2 seasons ago, right?
Yes. So this, trying to think, because the audition was in the fall, and I didn't join right at the beginning of the season. I think I started playing in December, but yeah, I think this would have been the end of the second season for me.
Yeah, and so how has it been for you? I mean, where do you play normally, and how does this ISO fit in?
Yeah, it's been really great. I really like it. I had never subbed with ISO before. The other orchestras that I play with, I have positions with the South Bend Symphony and also with the Illinois Philharmonic, and I had played with them before being offered contracts with them after winning auditions. So the first time I went down to play with ISO, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it's been really fun. And actually I was surprised, and it's been really nice. I think the average age of the orchestra is a bit younger than most of the other orchestras. I noticed that especially with the string players, and I feel like there's a kind of a different quality to the sound, but it's been really wonderful.
Yeah, because we've had some open positions in the strings, and if you see all the principals now are fairly new.
Yeah.
And so it's coming along. It's coming along. Now, so Brian, tell us a little bit about your program and how you put it together, because it's solo horn, right?
Right. Yeah. Solo horn is an interesting one, because there's some repertoire written for actually solo horn with no other instruments, but not a lot. And really, solo horn recitals are not so common as piano and violin and cello. There's just not the wealth of repertoire that some of the other instruments have. So I have an interesting problem when I was approached to do this, because I had to decide what could I play by myself, or mostly by myself anyway. So I selected actually a few works. Some of them were written for horn and some of them were not. So I'm going to start the program with a Malcolm Arnold piece that was written for solo horn, and he specifically wrote it for horn. It's very idiomatic, sounds like kind of a hunting, tune or something like that. It's short, it doesn't get played very much actually, but it was kind of a nice chance to be able to pull that out. There are also 2 French composers who are very famous horn players that are not necessarily known outside of the horn world today. Henri Kling and Francois Gallet. They were both solo horn players, composers, conductors, kind of jack of all trades. They did a lot. So I will be playing two selections from their works that a lot of horn players work on by themselves, but doesn't get heard outside the practice room usually. Then I'm going to get into territory of borrowed repertoire. So I will be playing actually most of the first cello suite by Bach, which is unusual. Everybody knows those played by cellists. There's many, many, many famous recordings. It is sometimes borrowed by other instruments. Horns and trombones especially play them a lot. I've been working on these for years and years on my own, so this was a great opportunity for me to be able to play that. And it presents some different challenges, because obviously as a wind player, I can't play music the same way that a string player can, and I have to breathe, which is probably the biggest problem with this. And then finally, I will be playing 3 selections from a book of compiled pieces by Black composers. This is actually a project that Rachel Barton Pine was involved in. We worked with her not that long ago. So these are arranged actually by her for 2 violins, and I will be joined by a special guest to bring 3 of those pieces off and introduce pieces that probably, well, I would bet everyone listening probably hasn't heard before.
That's going to be really, really interesting. So
yeah,
so it's actually you finish off with some duets, basically.
Yes, duets.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing the program and with us. And Brian, I'll see you in a few days.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.